Evening all, or rather morning all. Here we are, we're playing some Elite. And today you will notice, the observant among you will notice, that I'm backing in a Cobra. And this is because I parked the Clipper, my wonderful, wonderful cruiser Clipper, somewhere. And then I got in a Sidewinder to go and do something. And I forgot where I parked the Clipper. Yeah. True story. I'm kidding. God, some of you are now laughing your heads off at how stupid I am, thinking that's actually true. Of course it's not. Anyway, let me show you. Let me show you what's going on. I've got a Cobra Mark III now, which I fit pretty much exclusively A and B. Well, mostly A and B, as you can see. And really, what I was doing here was making an exploration ship. In fact, I'm going to show you just because I kind of feel like I need to now. Let me go to outfitting. So, oh, look at this wonderful ship. Gosh, I love this ship, I really do. I still think this is by far the best ship in the game. It just looks badass, and it handles like a, I don't know, it handles like a Camaro, if that makes any sense, but it probably doesn't. So what I've done is I've basically fit it out with maximum jump range, and you'll notice I've also put some exploration stuff on it. So we've got the best scanner, so that's an infinite range scanner, so that's good, and we got the detailed surface scanner as well. I don't know if I need anything else to explore, but that's pretty much what this ship is going to be for. It was meant to be an ASP, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't have enough credits. This cost 5 million credits to get to this point, so it shows you the ASP is 6.6 million credits, and to get it to the point where you're going to go explore with it is well, you're going to need probably double again, maybe even triple again. So, not quite there yet. I don't want to sell the Clipper. I actually still have my Clipper. Don't worry, I was joking. I'm not obviously stupid enough to lose a ship. It's there. Look at it. It's there. Basically, that's where my Sidewinder and Clipper are at the moment. And what I did is I basically flown into Alliance space to pick up my bounties. And I'm now going to drop to Empire space to pick up a further bounty. And we'll have a little chit-chat as we go. That looks good. Let's go to Private M, if I can ever get the... Do you notice that? Do you ever see that? Do you see what I mean? That's really annoying when it does that. I can't actually... I can't actually select. Oh god, that's so embarrassing. There we go. So we've planned that route, and I need to probably set it again, because I wish it would just always default to the fastest route. I don't know why you do economical. It's just stupid. But as you can see, that's, you know, across all of the Federation space, it's probably about 10 jumps, so let's get moving. What I've been doing is just running those encounter sites, and they've been ridiculously profitable, and I'm just collecting all the various bounties that have accumulated from it. I earned probably about 5 million yesterday, and therefore I had 600, 700k in Empire, or rather Alliance, and now I have 600k to go and collect in Empire. And I just do it because I don't like leaving them sat there, because at some point I'm going to fly into the side of a station, and then that's a lot of money lost. So yeah, this is certainly an area of the game that I'm going to try and get into right now, which is exploration. So this is a very, very long range Cobra, and you can see it's what, 22. That's actually gone down. I need to look at that, but it's pretty good long range Cobra. I really did want it to be the ASP. I think the ultimate goal here is to have a fully fitted ASP. Because then effectively that's my exploration ship, because that's kind of what it's designed to do. But anyway, I've got to admit, it's nice being in the Cobra again. I think it just feels so good. I do really love the Cobra. Every ship I buy now is fitted with the best fuel scoop I can afford, and I mean the best. In this case, in fact, I went slightly lower than the best because I didn't want to put too much into this one, but you know, 750,000 credits for a scoop was a bit much, so I went for the 200k one because it only gets about half a ton less. So it basically scoops about, I think, 0.25 tons per second, which is pretty good. So that's where we are. It's weird flying this Cobra again because it's amazing how maneuverable it is compared to that Clipper. But having said that, the Clipper does, I don't know. I mean, with the B type, because the Clipper was basically fit with all B type stuff. Ooh, hello. That's an interesting star. Wow. So let me do my scan. So this is an infinite range scan, so it will pick up everything. Bong, 29. Wow, really? So let's have a look at the system. I'm curious. Wow, okay. So I just picked up all of that, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. How far away is that? First discovered by Kristen. It's all been discovered. But I think that's kind of where we're going. That's where I want to go now. But we'll get our mission done first. So let's just go and keep jumping. I must admit, I'm surprised to see that star. I've not seen that star in a long time. So there we go. Oh, slurp of tea. Eve, it's just the rules, really, isn't it? You play Eve Dangerous in the morning, you've got to have it with a cup of tea. Those are the rules. You can have coffee. I think if you're from the colonies, that's fine. But I would say, yeah, tea. Anyway, so I think really the beauty of this game is certainly starting to come through in that now that I've got some money, I'm starting to get some ships. And, you know, the one thing I really didn't like about the whole thing was just the fact that you would sell your ship all the time. I didn't like that. It didn't feel right to me. Just excuse me while I scoop some fuel. I'm going to do a quick scan as well because you never know. Let's see what we find. I think this is actually a very known system. Yeah, that's fine. But as you can see, look, 245 your units per second. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want, and it's filling up very nicely. This on my clipper, I've actually got a class something. I think it's a class 5 or 6, or maybe even 7. But my God, you literally just skim the sun, and you basically could set up your own little Shell service station or BP service station right there because you just scoop so much fuel. You never need it. Another observation is by upgrading all of my things like hyperdrive and so on, I rarely get any heat damage or heat buildup from jump drives anymore, which is wonderful because that was actually really frustrating when I was running the Type 7, was you would jump into a sun, you'd start to scoop, and then you'd hit your hyperdrive, and you actually go to a risk of overheat to about 150%. So kind of annoying, but I think it's got better. Excuse me while I scan. I'm just going to scan everything that I come across. Bow. Okay, so I only discovered one, so let's just see what's here then. Oh, another sun. Isn't that lovely? Hanging there like a majestic pair of balls with one of them that you should probably go get a doctor to look at because that isn't normal. Anyway, there we go. So let's keep jumping. I do love the fact that I can just move about the game. And the one thing, again, I would just say this is something that completely liberated the game to me. So if you're not playing at the moment because you got a bit frustrated with it, let me kind of tell you what frustrated me and therefore what unblocked it. Was the fact that you had to kind of move around the map, but it took forever. And by fitting that A-class jump drive, or even a B-class, B's pretty good still, I'm able just to jump across all of the Federation space in about 5, 6, 7 jumps. And I think that's definitely the way to go. I think with the ASP, you can get it to about 30 light years per jump, which is really where I wanted to go. That was actually the kind of prerequisite for exploring. But, I mean, oh, let me scan again. And kapow! Wow, 22 new objects. What the flibbity gibbet is that about? First discovered by some other dude. Yep, so many things discovered by other dudes here. It's pretty cool, though, isn't it? That'll be Pyrex soon. CEO Pyrex, Explorer and Gentleman. So let's charge. Let's keep going. So again, I don't know how many far away. Okay, 5 jumps. That's not. I guess that's not great. I guess, but it's still not bad compared to previous installations of doing this. But there we go. I do love the fact that you can just zip across the space. It's very nice. I think anything. I mean, I can't imagine flying a ship with anything less than 10 light years per second. That to me would be almost limiting and impossible to even navigate because you'd have to do such detours. In fact, you probably at under 10 you probably wouldn't even be able to get out of a constellation in some cases. So this is why it's probably quite dangerous. But there we go. Right, just scan again. How many things we found? 45. Right, I'm just going to let that scoop. Let's have a look at the map. Flippity gibbets. That's crazy. It's all been discovered. Yeah. Flipping gits. There we go. Look, there's a station there as well. In fact, there's a few stations there. You've got some belts. That looks pretty cool. These are all kind of weird little planetoids. Again, we're not going to worry too much about that. Let's just keep scooping. I could see the exploration being quite a nice mechanic, actually. I'm quite excited about this now. See, I have got my combat rank up, so I'm now an expert and a merchant. So I think this is why I want to work on my 3rd stat now. Am I chasing stats? No, actually, I would say I'm probably very much not. But I don't know, there's something about it. You just think to yourself, well, you know, there's something enjoyable about perhaps looking at the game in 3 different ways: hunter, trader, explorer. I do like that. I think to me that has a ring to it. In fact, that is very likely how we're going to structure series 2, because again, I only do these things in blocks of 100, and it's almost amazing to me. I've done 100 of these videos already, and if I look back at the start of this, it's amazing where this game has come and where it's going. So very, very impressed with it. I think it's funny because a lot of people are trying to sort of get involved with the whole, is it Star Citizen, is it this, is it that, and that's interesting because, you know, I think Star Citizen is going to be a totally different game. I think it's a totally different game, and I'm excited to play both. I really can't wait. So, you know, good times. I think this is a great era for space exploration, space, you know, kind of big combat tradery style games. Eve is getting better as well. I mean, I was obviously at FanFest, and that was obviously very impressive. So, you know, it's looking good. I don't think I'm going to play Eve again, though, because I still think the barrier to entry is still so high. Like, you know, what I'm doing now with this kind of, you know, I'm in a ship, I can go and explore space, blah, blah, feels very open and friendly and... No, not friendly. It feels very open and, I guess, accessible, whereas Eve doesn't. I mean, I'd have to make a new character, I guess, because my old characters are locked in deep space. I've no idea where my assets are. I've got no hope of ever using a Titan solo. So why bother with it? So you see what I mean? It's like there's very little reason to actually go and use and play Eve in the way that Elite is played. I don't know, post in the comments, tell me if you agree with that. I think to me it's a totally different game. You need like a big group of friends to play Eve. And I'm a Billy No Mates. No one likes me, so this is the problem I have, and that's not self-flagellation, I'm joking. But it's like, you know, you do think to yourself, well, sometimes, gosh, is there literally only a sun here? That's fascinating. Look at that, that's it. That's all there is. That's all there is. That's quite sad in a way. It's like, think about that, a sun formed, and it was a cloud of gas and debris and rock and material, and it formed, and it didn't form any planets. That is unbelievable. That is cool. The nerd in me is coming out now. The scientist, the interested kind of party in space phenomena is interested in that. That was awesome. Okay, on to the next system. I don't think we've got too many more to go. Yeah, 2 more, then we're done. I hope that they keep doing this kind of thing with the game. Like, I mean, 400 billion stars means that, yeah, everybody kind of discovered everything now, right? Right? I hope not. I really do hope not, because if I get out there and I find that everything is being discovered by like 5 people, that's going to be really frustrating. So there needs to be some form of limit to that. Otherwise, you do have a whole area of the game locked to you. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. We'll see. Let's scan again. Kapow. Okay, so there's only 2 here as well. So let's have a look at that. That's interesting. Okay, so yes. See, that's a better pair of balls. That's the kind of balls that you want. Oh, what am I talking about? Let's go and scoop some fuel. There we go. What would we do without fuel scoops in exploration? I just do not know. In fact, you couldn't even do it, because you just run out of fuel. I can't remember, did they ever have fuel scoops in the Frontier game? I think they did. But it was, yeah, I vaguely remember it, but that was a long time ago. Anyway, there we go, fuel scooped. Let's start hyperdrive. I hit that at the wrong time. It's doing a bit of damage. Let's have a look. My module's damaging. Yeah, look. What am I doing? See, that's what happens if you don't pay attention, and that's probably death out in the wilds of the universe or the galaxy. If you do that too many times, you'll lose some systems, and then you're really screwed. So, bad Pyrex. Don't do that again. So once we dock at the Empire Station, then I think we're looking pretty good. I think we're almost there. Yeah, so the next one. So there we go. So that wasn't too painful. That's across the whole of Alliance space, or rather Federation space, and that didn't take long. So yeah, I think that's quite agreeable. Just scoop some fuel. I'll let it cool down again. I won't do hyperdrive so close to the sun, because that was kind of dumb. There we go. And then we dock, we get our money. We'll see what we can fit. I think I've gone to a relatively high-tech system, but we'll see what we can fit, and then I think it's really then up to a decision if we want to go and try and get into the wild somewhere. I mean, we could. There's nothing stopping us now. I don't think I need anything more than the equipment I've got. I've got the advanced scanner, which is obviously very nice, and I've got the detailed surface scanner, so I think that's it. I really would love to have used a clipper to do this, but it's just not designed for exploration. Its maximum jump is 15, so you can see that's just nowhere near enough. Okay, so Wilhelm Gateway. Gosh, it's been a while since I've been here. So let's go and dock. It is nice flying the Cobra again, I must admit. This is a very, very nice ship. It has the kind of zippiness of the smaller ships, but yeah, it does pack a hell of a punch when you think about it. I mean, it does massive damage. Let's have a look. Yeah, so, I mean, God, is this ship worth 8 million minus 2.2? Gosh, that's expensive, isn't it? There we go, 88 million credits spent on ships so far. That's not bad. I do tend to not buy ships unless I want to keep them. Now, I generally won't flim-flam about. I think my next upgrade will probably be to the Python, and then I won't need the Cobra or the Clippers. So I think that's kind of where we are. And we're probably only about 10 million 10 million credits away from that now. So yeah, I think that'll be what we do. Get a bit of a grind session going. I mean, those encounter sites on the resource sites are just unbelievable. When you get into the flow of it, you'll end up just destroying Cobra, Anacondas, Clippers, Pythons, Federal dropships over and over and over, and they give you such good credits. And you'll earn 1 million credits in the space of 10 minutes easily. And that's pretty awesome. I mean, that has got to be the way that I've made my money. I'm sure you can make more trading, but I don't think I like trading as much as I like shooting people in the face. So I think that's kind of why we do it. Post in the comments. I mean, I'm sure rares are better. I'm sure there's per minute, etc., etc. There's probably a much better way of making money. But is there as fun a way as making money as resource sites in killing big ships? You need a pretty good ship to do it. I mean, even at times I have trouble with some of the Anacondas now. It's only because I don't run cannons anymore. I took the cannons off because they need ammo, so therefore you have to dock every so often, and that got a bit frustrating. So I fit it with some pretty meaty beam lasers, and they do a great job against everything except Anacondas. Anacondas seem to have a resist or something, particularly the good ones. They have a massive resist to lasers once you hit armor, so they basically do a lot of they do damage to you, and I've actually almost got to the point where I've had to run away from an Anaconda now. So yeah, but there we go. I don't think there's much you can do about that. I think it's really just the way it be, brah. But at the end of the day, I think also you've got to bear in mind it's a dangerous way to make the credits. If you lose your ship, then obviously there's a massive loss there, so bear that in mind. And I say massive, I think it's 2.2 million credits, which is basically, in a bad day, that's about half an hour in that belt. So there you go. So let's dock, let's get our bounty, let's get our booty, and let's see what we can do then. Amazing. The one thing I would say is slightly frustrating is it's a shame that every starport is so similar. Like, these ones are just everywhere. The Coriolis stations, they're just very popular. Oh, I think I'm flying my Clipper. I just started to slow down massively because you've got to be really careful as you dock the Clipper. Oh, there you go. Oh my god, I'm not used to flying this ship. It doesn't feel as nimble as the last one I had as well, so I wonder if I've got something wrong now. What if I've put the wrong thrusters on or something? But it feels a lot less nimble than previously stated. Oh my god. I think there's something not quite... I'm going to say it's the keyboard, because I'm pressing buttons, I'm slowing down, and then I'm not slowing down. It must be because I'm just tired, I guess. What a noob, you're saying. What a noob. Oh, there we go. Right, so Wilhelm Gateway. Do you know what? Docking while doing these videos is like being watched while you perform, if you see what I mean. It must be what those performers, in brackets, go through, because it's like everyone's watching you and you can't quite kind of get there. I'm guessing, by the way. I'm not saying I'm a porn star. So let's go to local dividends. There we go. So that's about 600k. Definitely worth it. So that was a very nice little trip. So let's just do some outfitting. I think this is If I could be wrong. I think this is a relatively high tech, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, look, to me, everything seems to be very slow. Maybe it's because my brain is completely coming down at the moment. I don't know, but that seems really slow. The way it kind of went into the hangar then just seemed ridiculously slow. Anyway, let's see what we can fit on this mighty ship. So there we go. So we've got, oh, in fact, 2119. I swear that's gone down. I swear that's gone down. It could be because I'm fitting heavier gear or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't need class 3 sensors. See, there you go. So if I just fit... Yeah, I will fit that, because I don't think, again, your sensors aren't that important. Life support, I think, is best at D. I could be wrong, but let me just have a look. So... doesn't increase my range at all, so let's leave it at D. Thrusters... Yeah, so there you go. So if I put crappier thrusters on... I guess if I put better ones on... Yeah... I don't, I'll leave it at B because I quite like the ability to nip about is very good. Anyway, there we go. I don't think there's much I can do about that. I think, to be honest, that is probably where we are. I think that's now ready to start hunting for stars, I guess. That's probably what we'll start doing in the next one. So join us next time when I'll fly about an hour into that direction, waves hand, and we'll see what we can find. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.